Postseason action descends upon FedEx Field just outside of D.C. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the New Orleans Saints and the Washington Football Team. The first of four berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. Callaway, the return man. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
That's such a good close game.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Jameis to throw it. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, Winston. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
On play action, Winston. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Saints are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Don't worry, Travis. If it happens again and he's winning, I'll give him the win. Okay.
Heineke to throw it. He gets it to Thomas. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the shotgun, it's Heineke. That's caught by Sims.
Oh, my God.
Touchdown!
Motherfucking strong.
Sims, 70 yards. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Callaway, the return man.
Ooh.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big time arm strength. Very nice route.
Shit.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Winston. And that is incomplete. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
On 3rd down, Winston. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jamin Davis. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick-6 for a Washington touchdown. And we'll see if that pick-6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. You often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there.
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. And good coverage there on special teams as he'll get him down shy of the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they gave up the pick-6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. To throw is Winston.
Come on. Fuck.
He rifles one, it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. Always so many storylines when you're playing January football. And, Charles, you talk about this offense, their head coach, it's his first time in charge in the playoffs. And I think you and I were both kind of surprised by his demeanor and specifically his comments and his confidence at the press conference where he really all but guaranteed a victory.
Yeah, I was a little bit taken aback because you don't normally see that. And on one hand, it's like, all right, cool. He feels great about his team. But on the other hand, I don't think it's in his best interest to do that. How many playoff games has he won again, Brandon?
None.
So there's your answer right there. I guess what he was trying to do was fire up his team. But he has to make sure he doesn't fire up the other guys because there have been a lot of coaches who've made guarantees that are no longer coaching in this league.
On 1st and 10, Heineke. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On second down, a run with Gibson. Open space inside the 10. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
They'll run with Gibson. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second and goal from inside the 5. Looking to throw, Heineke. Eluding the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a good decision there. He was looking, but the coverage was excellent. Nice job to get rid of it and try and find something better on third and goal. He didn't let that clock accelerate and force him into an error.
A big one coming in this divisional round playoff, third and goal. From the gun, Heineke escaping the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Cam Sims. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Winston. Being chased out left. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Now a throw here, hauled in. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on third down. Now Winston. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going. That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back near his goal line. Here's Heineke. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he is out up around the 15-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Now Heineke. That's out to the flat for Gibson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To the air again, Heineke. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cameron Jordan, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Come on, good play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. DeAndre Carter returning it. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And a play fake, and now Heineke. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Third and long for Heineke. And it's caught off the deflection. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45.
I was following him all the way.
That's all you need. That was not even the intended
That's
receiver on that play.
Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
Heineke on first down.
Oh,
And a dangerous
take that one to the house.
Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first,
Yo,
now
man,
2nd and 10.
that play almost made me come.
You're so gross!
Heineke now.
Oh, again!
Complete to his
No!
receiver. And some room to maneuver.
No!
And this is going to be another first down as the
You're
tackle's
talking
made at
shit.
the Saints 37.
No.
CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
Newhouse!
This is
On
concentrating time.
first and 10, it's
Yellow.
Gibson. And this time not quite to the 30.
Concentrating
It'll be
time.
down
They ain't no
at the
thought behind them
31-yard line.
eyes!
45 yards on the ground for him so far. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. On second down, here's Gibson again.
So many teams
That
want
was
to throw
not
the ball in this
first down.
situation nowadays, but I
not
love
even
watching a
gonna
team
try.
that has enough confidence to go ahead and run
I
the
don't think
football.
so either.
In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
I can't even challenge it, even if I wanted to.
Wah, wah, wah.
They'll run on first down. Gibson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
They're saying I'm distracting. I have not done nothing.
And they'll try to throw now.
I'm not distracting. If I was distracting, I'd walk
And
around.
it's throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And his kick is good. And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points
I'm just letting
that
you
come
know
in
right now,
helpful
if
later
I'm not
on.
cooking for you for a week.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They go play action. Winston. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle.
Come on!
Incomplete.
Come on!
Long one way out there, but
I
it'll be
keep
The running game's been working well.
You
The offensive line has been
overthinking
pleased
this.
by that. The thought process
That
there.
motherfucker
Catch
missed
those
that
safeties
ball.
coming
He
back,
should have
trying to
catched
help
that
get
shit.
Overthinking this.
Overthinking shit.
Yeah, exactly. Shit. That's exactly what you're thinking.
Throw
Wow.
Winston. Completes it left side to the tight end Lewis. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop the clock with
That was a
24
good one,
seconds
though.
to go in this first half. Here comes
God
the Saints
damn
punter
it.
now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. That'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Out there, set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Nice footwork at the 25. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It was P.J. Williams that time on the tackle. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Both these teams, no doubt, making their final adjustments as we speak. Which of these two teams is going to advance to the NFC title game next Sunday? To find out, let's get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. Here's Carter now on the return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Cut it with a knife.
Now Heineke. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 39, Heineke. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
From the 39, Heineke eluding the pressure right. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
They'll run with Gibson. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Heineke. And he fires one that's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Saints are going to have it here just past the 25. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles around the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Kamara gets it again on second down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Winston now. And Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Back to it after the pick six. Winston. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up the first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going.
Winston now to throw on first down.
No.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today.
I saw him too. Ah!
And he will bring this one back. It's a pick six for a Washington touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Winston from the gun on third down. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Short completion, just 4 yards. And it'll be fourth down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Here comes Carter. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that
really
matters
killed me
is part two,
defensively,
right?
though.
Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive,
I should have
it
run the
doesn't
ball
do good
more
to go
than
back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going.
what I did.
Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it
That's
done.
21 points.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Gibson. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Washington on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4. Heineke to throw it. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Play fake. Winston. Caught. Right side. It's Lewis. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On 1st and 10, Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. Fights him off. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
First down, Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Jameis again. Back to Kamara for another catch. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Bless you.
He's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Off the play fake, Winston. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Saints get a bit closer. And a play fake down near the goal line here worked out well.
Anytime you can make them think that you're going to run the ball and go to that play action pass, you see the end result. Usually a touchdown.
Is that harder? Is the play fake harder to defend for the defense near the goal line or no? Because there's not as much room to work with.
It is harder because down near the goal line, you're thinking much more of a running play, especially if people run out big formations. So it is harder to defend.
And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And now 1st downs are key. They want to keep that clock moving, up by 2 scores as they try to cement their place in the conference championship round in 1 week's time. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On 2nd down now, it's Gibson. And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Gibson again. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. On first down, Gibson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. On second down, it's Gibson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. On the counter, Gibson. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline.
And Winston lost the football.
Big guy, get the ball, please.
Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Chase Young able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. They got his man complete. And he's brought down. They took a big shot there. It pays off. A solid game downfield. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves,